Anybody? What's something she said that stood out to you? Say your name and then what stood out to you. Stand up.
My name is Camila, and what stood out to me was when she said that we are prideful and that we can be mountain soldiers.
Anybody else? Yes. Say your name and stand up what stood out.
My name is Kira, and when she had said that we are beautiful, that has been out for me.
My name is Michaela, and what stood out to me is when she said we're worth more than gold.
My name is Beyonce, and what stood out to me was when she said that we're queens.
My name is Renee, and what she said is when she said we're worth than gold.
Any more? Some more things. What's some other stuff that stood out to you that she said? What else? Come on over here. Anybody over here? Yes.
My name is Katie, and she said we're strong and
Beautiful. Awesome. And so I asked her to come and share that with you because, as she said, positive affirmations. That is, think about it like this: when you put clothes on, you're basically covering yourself, you're protecting yourself from different things. Okay? When we put equipment on, when we play football, we were putting it on so that way we can be offensive. That means that we can do something with it, but it's also defensive to protect us versus certain things that will come against us to harm us. And so confessions and affirmations. And today when we leave, we're going to do a dare pledge, outside. It's going to be full of affirmations that the more you say it, and the more you cover yourself, you're putting on your equipment. You're putting on your armor. You're protecting yourself. And so I realized that was powerful for me in my life. And so I want to encourage you guys as well. The theme of this camp is Dare to Dream. We said that D stands for dignity, A for achievement, R for respect, and E for empowerment. And today we're going to break up into different groups where you guys are going to break down each one, and we'll get a chance to have some level of engagement. And so I'm going to start with the D. I'm going to start with dignity. And I want to start by a question. When you hear the word dignity, what is dignity to you? What does it mean? Dignity to someone who hasn't answered the question. Let me get that chocolate over here. Let me chocolate over here. That's not one of the letters. Is it chocolate over here? Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. What does dignity mean to you? What does dignity mean to you?
dignity means that we should respect ourselves and not like be rough to ourselves and be respectful to ourselves.
Be positive to yourself. Thank you, God. Give it up for radio. There you go. How long over here? Who we got? What does dignity mean to you? Again, here's the thing. There are no wrong answers. And then think about this. When you say something, you're bold enough to say something out loud, there's somebody right next to you that probably need to hear that. They wanted to say it, but they were a little nervous. Maybe they didn't have as much dignity and they felt that way. So again, encourage that. By you saying something, you're helping another person. Yes.
To me, dignity means to have your own style and to be unique.
Your own style. Can you give it up for radio?
I think dignity means to respect yourself and be confident of your own self.
Okay. Awesome. Give it up for radio. Anyone at all?
It means to be self-worth.
How about in the back here? We have some of the young ladies back here. Anybody want to share? What does dignity mean to you? Okay, we have to go over here. What does dignity mean to you?
To me, I think dignity, that you should have dignity yourself every time you go somewhere.
Okay. Give it up for Ray.
Dignity means to be proud of yourself.
Proud of yourself. Give it up, Ray. You want to say something?
I think dignity means to be yourself and have courage in yourself.
Awesome. Give it up, Ray.
I think dignity means to be proud of yourself.
Proud of yourself. Ray.
I think dignity means not letting anyone else tell you what you're supposed to do.
All right.
Dignity means to be strong.
Dignity means to be strong. Give it up, Ray. Give about three more. Coming back. All the way back. Yes.
Dignity is dignity is having a quality, honor, and respect.
Awesome. Somebody look that up. That's right. Give it up, Ray. All right. So again, we see that there were so many answers out there, okay? So many out there, and every single one of you guys said are true. I want to share something real quick with you guys about when I was growing up and how dignity played a part into my life. When we grew up, it was 5 of us. There was 5 of us. We grew up in Camden, New Jersey. And in Camden, New Jersey, okay, we didn't have a lot. We were on welfare, okay? There was times I would come home. When I came home, I would click the light on a lot of times to see if we still had electricity. Because sometimes we didn't have electricity. I remember sometimes I would turn the water on to see if the water was working. I remember we used to borrow stuff from people, like go next door, can you borrow some sugar? I don't know how you borrow sugar. You know, I have to put it in Kool-Aid. But when you go next door and get some sugar, I remember sometimes we had electricity, electric cord running from somebody's house to ours. I remember sometimes we had cars, our cars didn't always work. I remember one time, you know, as far as school stuff, people had a lot of school clothes, and they had all this stuff. We didn't have a whole lot, we had a couple outfits. I remember growing up, okay, as a little boy, and I remember I had buck teeth at the time, thank God for braces. You know, I had buck teeth at the time, and we didn't have a whole lot of things. But then I remember sometimes going to school and seeing people who had stuff. And all of a sudden, they didn't have to say it. But I started putting them on a pedestal as if they were more valuable than I was because of what they had. I started feeling that my self-worth was a little less than them because of what I had. I remember growing up too. Sometimes I wanted people to say so much things to me and just encourage me all the time. And God, when you're good, God, when you're great. And if they didn't do it, I started feeling bad. So feeling, why nobody likes me? What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Is it the color of my skin? Is it my hair? Is it my teeth? Is it how fast I am and strong? Am I not smart enough? Am I not good enough? My self-worth, I viewed it as being down here because of what people would say or what they wouldn't say, what people would do or they wouldn't do. Well, it took me years to understand about my true worth. It took me years to understand it. But when I understood it, the moment when I started to understand it, is a time in my life where I was going through the toughest time in my life. And I wasn't in the NFL anymore. And I realized that being in the NFL didn't make me feel good. Having a lot of money didn't make me feel good. Having all the clothes that I wanted didn't make me feel good. Having friends and people around didn't make me feel good. But the only thing that made me feel good is when I realized how valuable I really am without all that. And so I'm a man of faith. I'm a Christian. And this is what that means to me. Just like a car being in a garage, okay, doesn't make it, okay? Just like a garage, they have a garage there and have a car that doesn't make it. You ever see a vehicle? Just like me going to church doesn't make me a Christian. It was about what did I know, what did I do, and how I live my life. And so when I started to realize that all those things didn't matter to me, the only thing that mattered was what my Father said about me. And when I realized that, he says, you know what? He says, Donovan, you're created in my image. He says, you know, you're created after my likeness. That means that the same way that I am, with the power, with ability, with strength, with intellect, I created you the same way. You're my masterpiece. When he says, guess what? Donovan, you are my workmanship, my masterpiece. Guess what? He says that about me. He says, I'm a masterpiece. I'm his masterpiece. Just like an artist or a sculpture person, an architect, they sculpt things and they look at it and they're amazed and like, wow, look how valuable that is. That's what God says about me. That's what he says about you. He also said, guess what he said? No good thing will I ever withhold from you. So that meant that if there was something good in my life that I needed, he was always going to provide. He said, I'm going to never leave you or forsake you. And so that meant no matter where I went, I didn't need somebody else. I had the person that I needed with me. And so when I started to saturate, put on that garment, put on those clothes of the affirmation, that he says, I'm wonderful, I'm amazing, I'm made in his image. He says that no weapon formed against me will prosper. That means that nothing that I ever go through is going to be too big or too strong that I can't make it through. It was then only then, ladies, that I began to get strong because it was being strengthened from the inside out. Dignity. The quality of having self-worth. Dignity. When you guys are in school, how many of you guys, just by raising hands, okay, you got the same thing, how many of you guys sometimes have people criticize you or say things to try to decrease your self-worth? Hands up. Hands up. How many of you guys sometimes actually, you don't have to raise your hand, you don't want to, how many of you guys have actually experienced your self-value, as I did, seem to go down because of what they were saying or how they were treating you? Okay? What you're experiencing, you guys, is normal. But here you get a chance to make a decision. At the end of today, okay, I'm going to actually have a sheet, and Ms. Couture says she's going to give you guys a sheet as well with affirmations. We're going to want you to put them up on your mirror, just as you look in the mirror. And I listen, you guys, what I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know and what I did and what I do. I put that sheet on my window, on my mirror, where it says I'm strong, I'm able, I'm more than a conqueror, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, nothing can stop me, I can do anything. I do that, and I guess what? And I gotta read it. And sometimes, guess what? It seems like my mind doesn't want to believe it. I can say it, but it seems like my mind doesn't want to believe it. It's like, oh no, you're not strong, or you're not weak, or you're not this, because I don't have it yet. But the more you say it, the more you start to believe it, and the more you can conceive it and achieve it. I had no idea going to Camden, New Jersey, that I would be able to play in Alabama Field. I had no idea. But I had to continue to do what I can do. I had to continue to have positive people around. I had to continue to speak those words of encouragement, and so do you. Dignity. Your worth, your self-worth, is not wrapped up into what you have or what people say about you, but who you are. You are the most amazing, the most beautiful, the most wonderful, the most precious, the most articulate, the most elegant, sophisticated, and awesome people, women, young ladies ever created. And I want you to know that. Not because I'm telling you, but because you know that. Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense, you guys? All right, so what we're going to do, man, listen, I just want to share that part as far as the D. We're going to basically break up. You guys get to walk around here and sit for a long time. And we're going to break it into 3 areas, man. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun as you guys break up into those areas. Again, we